Hello, this is the 2022 and onwards Clubman Schedule, starting off with a judge takeoff. So make it nice and smooth, take your time, and then when you're ready, 180-degree turn downwind at the height you're going to fly the base manoeuvres at. And when you get a beam yourself in the centre of the box, the judging finishes. So I'm going to use the tour tree there. So judge is now finishing. And you can do a free turn round. That can be whatever you want, rectangular circuits, dumbbell turns. I'm going to do half reverse Cuban 8 here because there's another one coming up in a minute and it's a bit of a chance for a free practice. Box doesn't apply, so you can go a little bit further, take your time, set up for the first manoeuvre. You'll see the Rusty at the bottom coming up now for a loop, and there's the tree, so nice gentle pull up. We're trying to make the loop a constant radius, so I tend to find them easier to fly fairly big because you can then adjust for the wind conditions to try and make that constant radius loop. Aiming to come back down, finishing the loop, 6 o'clock position there. Little pause, straight level, and then up for the judged half reverse Cuban 8. So 45-degree upline, pause to mark a line, 180-degree roll, pause, and then very gently join into a 5/8 loop. So not a hard pull like a reversal, nice 5/8 loop, back down at the base height. Then we have a slow roll, can be left or right, it doesn't matter, about 3 or 4 seconds worth, again doesn't really matter exactly, but it is a slow roll, not a fast one. And then up for a normal half Cuban 8. So the 5/8 loop comes in there to start with. Over the top, looking for the 45-degree downline, brief pause, roll the right way up, little pause, and a nice smooth pull out in the same radius as the loop. Into the combination, Illman and split S. So half a loop to start with. Constant radius again, of course. The top, roll upright, past the centre line, pause, roll inverted again, and then back down for the split S. Again, same constant radius we're looking for, and back down at the base height. Now we come up for the Humpty Bump, so pull up for a quarter loop, pause, mark a line, half a roll, pause, mark a line, same length as the first one, and then very gently over the top because it's a half a loop with the same radius as you pulled in to start with. So finish the half loop, vertical downwards, and then pull out with the same radius as the initial pull up, and of course the half loop at the top. Then we roll inverted for some inverted flight, 3 or 4 seconds worth. You can roll left or right, it doesn't matter, you don't have to go the same way. And then we pull up for a stall turn. So we make a nice radius pull up, fly vertical upwards, so you can go as high as you want to, or as low. 180 turn, vertical downwards, and we do the same constant radius coming out. Then we roll the aircraft inverted again, pause, centre, push for an outside loop. I'd make it about the same radius if you can as the inside loop, mainly because the weather conditions should be the same, so the model will be affected by the wind the same, and if you make it a reasonable size you've got time to adjust it. Aiming to finish at the bottom at 6 o'clock, and then pause, straighten level for a bit, and roll the model upright again. Then we do another Humpty Bump. You can go towards the end of the box for this one, so you make the upline can be right at the end of the box if you want, and go a lot higher than you think you need, it's the best thing. So up nice and high. We're going to do a half loop, same as before, but of course now, even though the power's off, the model will start to accelerate, so pause, roll, pause, pull out with the same radius, and you see it all occurs quite quickly. This is why we go high to start with. Then into a Cuban 8 with half rolls on the downline. So again, nice smooth constant radius loop is what we're looking for. Looking for the 45-degree downline, and then a roll at the mid-height, and then a smooth 3/4 loop this side, of course. Same radius as before. Over the top, again looking for the 45-degree downline, and the roll in the midpoint at the mid-height. Then a nice smooth pull out, the same radius as the rest of the loops have been. Then we pull up for a half a square loop with a half roll going up. So pull up, pause, mark the line, 180-degree roll, pause, same line, and then the same radius as you entered to exits. Then flying straight and level, gently decelerating the aircraft, looking for it to stop at the midpoint, ready for the 3-turn spin. So 1, 2 and 3, and looking for a vertical descent to come out, and then a smooth pull out back to the baseline. And the arrestee stops now, but the landing is judged from there. So we do 280-degree turns. You can go left or you can go right. That will probably depend on what happened in the spin, if the model was blown in or out, which it can be in a crosswind. So go whichever way you feel is appropriate. And then this turn can be level, or it can be gently descending, or probably a combination of the both. But a constant radius, I've got the model slowing down here, so as it slows down, the bank angle is coming off slightly to keep a constant radius. And we're looking to make a touchdown in the landing zone. Both takeoff and landings are only K1, so you're not going to gain or lose massive amounts of points. But obviously do as well as you possibly can. And as the model rolls out, that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. And hopefully we'll see a few people in some competitions fairly soon.